Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here. Day number 9 begins of only consuming water. I've had no tea, I've had no juice, I've had no milk, I've had no coffee. I'm feeling pretty freaking good.
You want some? You want this, don't you? It's my second channel, daily vlog channel. It's... TheDailyWoo! I almost choked on that.
Yep. Still have it. I got that CD so very long ago. It's on its last leg. It's kind of scratched up. It's scuffed up. But I still listen to it semi-regularly. I used to be playing that CD relentlessly in the former cars I had and in my van. Which brings me to this point. I was able to see Sublime in 1995, and the entire show is up on YouTube. It was called A Day in the Sun is what the VHS was titled. And it was at this surf shop I used to visit all the time called the Groove Tube in Indialantic, Florida. And there was hardly anyone there. You can see they just set up in the parking lot. And I'm over here somewhere. I think somewhere throughout the day in the video you can see me pop my head in. But you see there's no security barricade. There's no massive amount of people there. Sublime just showed up and played and jammed in front of this surf shop. Man, that brings back some serious memories. 21 years ago. Who knows where he's going and where he's from? Can you feel it? The wind that takes it all. And you feel it? The wind that takes it all. Oh, by the way, I finally got the steering wheel cover on. Success! Isn't it crazy how fast time just flies by? The mid-90s were definitely a formidable time in my life. That was around the time frame where I started listening to punk rock. 1993, I was really into Nirvana. I saw Nirvana in concert, late 93. And then at the end of 93 into 94, I started discovering punk rock bands. Fat Records Band, Epitaph Records bands, the likes of those Dr. Strange Records bands, Fearless Records bands. Just a lot of punk rock was inundating what I was listening to around that time frame. And I got this compilation CD at the Groove Tube, the same place that I ended up seeing Sublime at in the parking lot. I got this compilation by the name of Punk Sucks. And it was the first compilation. This is before compilation CDs became really popular. And on that CD, there was like 20 to 30 tracks of all these bands, some of which I had heard of, some of which I had never heard of, and one of them was Sublime. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe the song that was on there was called All You Need. And it was kind of like a punk into like a reggae, ska-ish type song. And I was like, wow, who are these guys? And then I went back to Groove Tube and I bought a cassette tape of Sublime. I had a Sublime cassette tape. This is around 1994-ish, late 94-ish, I believe. And then in 1995, they played in the parking lot. And then a few months later, they played the very first Warped Tour in Orlando. So I saw Sublime, I think 3 times total, with Bradley as the frontman. Of course, he has passed away, and Sublime is now carrying on with Rome. They're now a band called Sublime with Rome. But most Sublime fans love the Bradley Nowell stuff. And that's kind of where my heart lies with that whole era. Really brings back memories, really. Man, time just really flies. Now, I know this might sound a little far-fetched. I've never been to this cemetery before, and I had to look online to see where the specific location of the grave was. And as I'm driving around, I could not find it. And it's a pretty good-sized cemetery. You can see it stretches way back there. This is just the far south end. And as I'm driving around all the different roads, I couldn't find it. So as I pulled over to check my phone to see if I could find a little bit more information, I noticed as I parked some graffiti on the sidewalk. I thought that was very unusual. Why is there graffiti and tagging and spray paint marks in a cemetery? You don't see that very often. And then I realized where I had parked, coincidentally or accidentally, is the grave I'm looking for. On the way over, I was listening to that Sublime CD, and as I was thinking, I was talking about how time goes by so quickly and the memories of the past. Listening to Sublime, knowing that Brad is right there, it's an unusual feeling. I don't really know how I feel about the tagging and the graffiti on the side of the road. My first instinct is, why would someone want to do that? But the more I think about it, it's kind of cool to, leave your mark and your dedication to someone. And, when I die, when I'm dead and gone, I hope someone writes something on the sidewalk for me. Here's a picture of me dressed up as Darth Vader at the last job I ever had at the feed store. It was Halloween. Here's a throwback to the early 90s. That's at MGM Studios. That's in the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids play area. 2001. Maybe the best Splash Mountain face of all time. That's a face you can trust right there. I just say that because that's me. 25 years ago. I've done a lot of unintelligent things in my life. This is one of them. Leaning over a pit full of alligators and crocodiles just to get a funny photo. Not the smartest thing in the world. These are old little photo booth stickers from Disney Quest. When Disney Quest in Orlando first opened. I don't think that this little photo sticker booth thing exists anymore. That's me and Jeff Bagwell when he was a rookie with the Houston Astros at spring training in Florida. Look how skinny I am. Ah, memories. Always good to keep old photos on hand. If you're going to Disneyland, coming from the northbound down Interstate 5, I'll show you a cool little music history spot right outside the park. Instead of going left to Disneyland, take a right here, then take a left into this neighborhood. Then look for Beacon Avenue. And right up here on the left-hand side is the No Doubt house. That's the house that was used in the video for I'm Just a Girl, when they're all leaving and they get in the car and they head out and they have all the band equipment. That's it. I'm just a girl. There's lots of info online about the house if you want to look it up. In fact, Tyler Evans, rock journalist, did a video a long time ago, and Justin from Live Fast Die Poor helped him out in filming it and stuff. You can look that up if you want to find out more information. I just wanted to show how close it was to Disneyland. You pull out of the neighborhood, Disneyland's right there. We're going to the roof. Looks like all the construction workers are putting away the vehicles for today, but this whole section will be the new Star Wars land. Just look how large the square footage of land is. The whole area of Disneyland is going to be dramatically increased. There's going to be so much more room in the park when this all opens. busy out here today, which is kind of rare for a weekday. Seems like there is no longer an off-season at Disneyland. That guy's good. All the Disneyland bands are so good. All right, I'm heading out. Didn't stay at Disneyland too long. It was super busy, didn't ride anything. I just watched some bands. Now I'm heading home. Hello again, Subway. That used to be a Taco Bell. I went with pretty much the lowest calorie sub. I got a foot-long roast beef on wheat bread, and then I got these oven-baked sour cream and onion, really good. And then I got a little bowl of soup here. I think together all of this is still around 1,000 calories. Since that's all I'm eating today, I think it's pretty good. Oh, that was good.
And now it's time for Ask Adam the Who. Don't forget the hashtag.
Have you ever played any video games? If so, what?
I was really into Nintendo Entertainment System in the late 80s, like 1985 to late 80s. And I got into PlayStation a little bit, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Diablo and stuff like that. But I've always been an NES kind of guy.
What was the first movie you've seen in the theater? For me, it was Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park would have been a good one to see as your first movie. I think mine was actually Return of the Jedi in 1983-84.
I was looking at your video here. 185. Did you notice that face right there, bro? With the baseball cap and everything? Baseball cap and a face?
Nope, never noticed that before. Where outside the U.S. are you wanting to visit? Japan, maybe Shanghai, and definitely Belize are on my agenda. Is the weather temperatures in California better or the same compared to Florida? California weather? Florida weather? That sums it up. Okay, one last question and then I'm going to call it a day. Let's see here. Let's see. What's this? You're not gonna say nothing? You wanna have a staring match?